Hey everybody, welcome back to DietyeRadio. It's Kayla.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
Today we're gonna be
You're
talking about emotional maturity.
Oh, I thought you wanted
Sorry. So
but we
to
don't need
introduce yourself.
I did
nobody.
already.
Right. I don't know who is us.
I did
Like,
already.
Dang, we
but
just not here. Like,
yeah,
dang,
like I
just
don't know
I
who I
thought y'all
am.
It's
introduced
fine. It's
yourselves. I thought y'all
fine.
be like.
I
I
will
thought y'all be like.
introduce myself.
Saul,
I'm
Saul,
okay.
Saul, Saul, do it. Go ahead, Saul. Just show it a little bit how it's done. So that way,
Okay.
it's
So
okay.
what up? What
We
up, y'all? Welcome to Welcome to another episode of Dietary Radio. Unfortunately, you guys cannot see my face, but that doesn't mean you can't hear my voice. This is a podcast, anyways. So what's up? I am. I am not the host. Kay is the host, but I am one of the members. My name is Saw. You can follow me on Instagram at official.saw. And everybody else, let's introduce yourselves. Kayla, starting with you.
Oh, okay. Hey y'all, I'm Kayla. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at Kayla Moan.
And y'all
You're
know me. I'm Mocha. You can follow me on Instagram at Mocha Badu.
Why you so soft? Like,
I don't freaking know. I'm
like
tired, man.
it's me, y'all. It's Mocha.
it's
I'm
hi
tired,
y'all.
man.
I'm Mocha. You
Where
can
is
follow me
the
on
where's the
Mocha and
oomph?
Mocha.
You had all this oomph early now. I was like, hey,
Literally just before we hit the
All my
button.
oof is gone, man. All my oof is gone.
gave,
As soon as
gave
he hit the
y'all
live
line.
button, he was just like just deflate.
It's like that sometimes.
Life like
Y'all
this.
no, y'all missed it. She just right before we started the live, she was up and like, yeah,
All
let's go.
moving. Why y'all like? Are we ready? Are y'all ready?
Oh,
Like
we trying to get this going. We
now, all of a
past
sudden we press the
freaking
live
7
show. Nigga,
o'clock
what to do?
on the dot. We supposed to start on the dot of 7 o'clock. This ain't 7 o'clock. This is
7 o'clock.
I
But
got it.
for real though, y'all.
I'm
anyway.
sorry.
Welcome
That
to
was
another
that was
episode of Oh
yeah,
yeah,
he
yeah.
sings.
Dog
It's
didn't
fine.
even
Oh, but it's Z Hunter. Follow me at ZHUNNO underscore.
okay.
I
About to
almost
mess
fucked
up
my
your
own
own
shit.
name.
You feel me? But it's all right.
Well, that's all of us. That's all. Well, that's not all of us. We got a couple members that's not here today. But regardless of whether they're here or not today, Mocha, what is our topic for today? And give us a little bit of explanation on what we're supposed to be talking about today.
Okay, today's topic is emotional intelligence. So I have a question for you guys.
Wait. It was what?
Emotional intelligence.
That's
Not emotional intelligence, emotional maturity. Emotional maturity. I said I was sleepy. Okay? It's emotional intelligence. Emotional maturity. God, what the
I
fuck?
want
Now,
y'all
you
to
really
know.
want to
I
say
want y'all to know.
intelligence?
Like I really want y'all to know. She be
Emotional
making
maturity.
topics. I want y'all to
Emotional maturity. I
hold
swear
on.
I'm a professional.
She be picking these topics. I want y'all to know that. Like she be picking these and this her messing it up. I just want y'all to know that. All right. Okay.
Don't tell
Continue what
me
you
to
talking
redeem myself when I work 9 hours.
She said,
Not
I work
9 plus
nine
9
hours.
days.
about. Oh my gosh, I work 9 hours. Oh my god, I'm
Who got
tired.
dishes going?
Hey man, mind your business.
Anyway,
I hear
so what
clashing in the
is
background.
emotional
Ain't you playing
maturity,
games over
guys?
there? You hush with that joystick.
Shut up, dog.
Yeah. Tighten up. All right, continue what you said. I'm sorry.
So, Z, what is emotional maturity?
Why are you asking me first?
Cause you the big brother. You know all.
Why
You
am
have
I there?
all the
No, I
answers.
don't. No, I do not.
You
No,
be giving us
you
debates
got a
for
lot
no
of people like
reason.
that. No,
Okay,
don't.
so basically,
Ba-
because I looked at it right before we did this, because I didn't know what we was talking about. But basically, it's about like understanding yourself enough and your emotions enough to know how to deal with situations involving your emotions and other people's emotions.
Thank you, Kayla, for answering the question that Z didn't want to answer.
I didn't say. Wow. Okay.
Basically, what we're talking about is a continuation of what we talked about last week.
Which I thought
Yes.
this week.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you
Kayla was
ain't
not
listening
here.
enough. See?
Yeah,
That's why
I
you
Kayla.
should
was
be here.
like,
Why you
That's
ain't
why you
watched
should
the
be
episode, Kayla?
right.
I've been so
Mm,
busy. It's
Yeah,
been
Cal,
so much. Like this is
mm.
It's
honestly.
holiday season.
Cal,
Everybody's busy.
Cal, Yeah.
Talking about Cap.
Like, okay, so I had RSV for like a
Yeah.
week, and then my mama was in the hospital for like 3 days,
Oh,
and
okay.
she's like not like
He
bedridden.
said, "Oh, Cap."
And
That's so bold, bro.
Not
You
her
both
mama.
yourself for that.
Her mama
G.
I'll
got
play, I'll
her
play, Kim.
health. Be
Okay, I'll play, I'll play,
nice.
I'll play.
Dang.
so as soon as I thought I would have a little break, life got real busy, and quite frankly, yeah, I didn't have time for this.
That's understandable and fair. However, you got no choice. Anyway, since you answered our lovely question. So, emotional maturity is understanding your
What's your face?
emotions to deal with situations. So, would you guys say that you have emotional maturity or you're working to build it?
Say that
Depends
question to me.
on.
I'm sorry.
So, my question was, do you guys believe that
Wait,
you
how we skipped the first question? We done with that question already?
We didn't even talk about what happened last week. Yeah, what happened last week?
What happened last week? You know, we gotta rekindle Caleb mind.
Okay, let's rekindle the fire of last week's video. What
I
happened
said
last week?
what happened last week was we were talking about like what was it, being petty, and I said, huh? That
That
was
was
at
the
the end.
it was being petty.
At the end, we. Oh wow, great,
Was it about
great.
me?
Yeah, you kind of were. A little bit salty, a little bit.
Who?
You
I was salty?
were being a little bit
Wow.
petty.
When?
You were being
Wow,
cue the
I hate
replay.
this. Hello,
Whoa.
can y'all hear me?
I'm about to make me watch the
Oh,
video.
wow,
again.
that's
Wait a minute. When I got petty.
At the very end, sir. At the very end.
What I said at the end.
how is my internet fucking up?
I said what?
I said, how is my shit fucking up? My shit
That
fucking up.
he's saying something that's totally not related to the conversation.
No, I
Hold up.
am. It's related to the conversation. I didn't hear anything y'all just said because my shit cut up.
We were saying
Let me
that
look this
Steve
up.
was being a little bit petty. A little
Oh
bit.
yeah.
When?
And I said he was being petty. I forgot what he was doing.
He
I
said
still
something.
want.
One more time.
Y'all
He was
just-
saying something toward you, Saul.
Oh well. I said I'm petty out of spite. You know, like, and then he came up with it. He told me the definition of what spite means, and I said, well, yeah, that's completely true. Speaking of, before we even go any further, what is the definition of spite?
Z, this is your area of expertise.
I mean, like you did it for a reason, as in you're doing something to hurt another person for a reason. Like as in
And I
say,
said,
like okay, I wanted to say we was playing on the playground as little kids, and I decided to push you on the ground. I did that out of spite, like because you was running with me to the what's it called? What's the swing?
glue.
We was trying to get to the swing.
Trying to get
the
the
swing,
glue.
so out of spite, I just pushed you off the swing real quick and jumped on the swing. You know, like something like that. Like so, like I did it on purpose to hurt you on purpose necessarily. That's not it though. I feel like Kareem.
It's like
Kareem, you hear Kareem? Kareem, help us. Oh no, that's Twitch. It's not Kareem. But somebody help us.
That's what it is. It's just a desire to hurt.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think it's like
it's a desire to get paid back.
yeah. It's like wow. Here we go again.
We go again. What we do?
He got a whole delay.
What I do?
No, not you. You didn't do anything. Saul had a delay because his internet is down. Yeah.
Okay. Well, still, yeah. What did we? Let's just emotional maturity. Let's just get to the emotional maturity. How about that?
Yes. Back to the topic at hand. What
The
is
first question was what's emotional maturity like to us? What do you think it is to us?
Yes.
If I had to say, our topic was purposeful living, not spitefulness. Purposeful living. That was last week's
Obviously,
topic.
Yes,
that
it
the
was
end.
last week's topic, but at the
I'm
end
just
we
saying.
started talking
But
about
that's not what we
the
was. That wasn't the topic. I'm just saying. But okay, yeah. Emotional maturity. I mean, to me, it's just emotional control, as in just knowing when to control your feelings. Like so there'll be moments where obviously, sometimes your emotions run and it lets you, go crazy sometimes, and your mind just go wild to where you just want to do things, and it's just like you have to get that understanding of, okay, I can be in this emotional state. I know my emotional state, but I can be in control of myself and understand, okay, am I in the right position to be in this state? Is this the right area? Am I talking to the right person right now to be in this state right now? Like, okay, let me assess it's really assessment, like, knowing how to assess a room and assess the area that you in, because I feel like a lot of times we take it as an emotional maturity as in with ourselves, like, okay, do I have emotional maturity with how I feel towards other people or how other people make me feel, versus understanding, okay, do I have emotional maturity around, like I said, the room? Like, can I understand how I feel in the room right now? Versus, like, prime example, say if you in a ballroom right now and you're supposed to be having a good, moment or time with your partner, and someone bumps into you and you decide, okay, I'm mad now, I'm finna like swing on it. Like the first moment, you swing on it. Like, you have no emotional maturity or no control over your emotions, because you do the
Will
first thing
Smith.
that comes to your brain. Like, you feel me? Like,
so
You
versus
Will Smith
you're
that
more
nigga.
impulsive.
less impulsive.
It's more so about awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, having an assessment and awareness of what you doing necessarily. Because a lot of people don't be knowing what they're doing all the time. You just be like, are you good? And they be like, no, I'm just mad. And you be like, and then when you hear them tell you why they mad, you be like,
But why is you mad?
why are you really mad, bro? Like, that sounds kind of dumb. But okay.
Bro, she keep talking to me, bro.
She made me mad, bro. I swear to God,
Made me mad. She
bro.
keep talking shit, bro.
She took my right slide and put it next to my left one on the other side, bro. What the hell, bro?
Bro, I wake every time I get out the bed, my slide's gotta be on the right side.
Mad.
Bro, come
Or
on,
are
bro.
you mad at something else, not at her, but you're putting your frustrations on her?
Man, fuck that shit.
Could be the other side too.
I mean, it could be both sides. Like right. It could be go both ways. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
People
just
can be
saying, general people.
spiteful to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't you. Didn't we talk about this before?
A little bit. That's what I'm saying. It was just
We
that.
talked about emotional intelligence. That's what we talked about.
Which is the
Not
same
emotional
thing.
maturity.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
Very similar, yes.
They're the same thing, but okay. How are they not the same?
So it depends on how you think of emotional intelligence and how you think of emotional maturity.
So then define emotional intelligence then.
Emotional intelligence is more of like you being aware of your emotions and being aware of other people's emotions, while emotional maturity is understanding your emotions and being aware of them, but learning how to actively act with having these emotions but not be impulsive,
Would that not go
controlling your
hand in
behavior.
is that not, do that not go hand in hand? Do that
I
not,
mean, yes,
in order
it
to
does.
have the intelligence, you have to first mature your brain to do that? Do you not do that? And if
Yeah,
if you're immature in a situation, that means you have the intelligence in it, correct?
correct.
All right, I'm just making sure. Just answer the question. I just want to make sure where we at.
Mm-hmm. Remember, I'm working with half a brain. Don't mind me.
I know I'm gonna pick on your brain all day today, just because you told me that.
Make her head hurt.
No.
Feel her. Make her think. Make
Don't
her
do
think.
that. I can barely see
Thinking.
him. Please don't.
Do you like what's that? What was that one tea? Oh, Doc McStuffins.
Oh yeah. What was it?
That think. I'm gonna have you.
Oh yeah.
Anyway. So, what do you believe emotional intelligence, emotional maturity is?
Um,
Wake your ass
I
up.
believe
Wake your ass up.
what what.
Telling her, wake your ass up.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck is you saying? Nah, emotional maturity,
Thank you.
to me means that um, you are more in control. You are in control of your emotions, so you don't let, or I don't want to say you don't let, because maturity. Okay, so you're mature in your emotional state. So yeah, I would say things don't tend to easily piss you off, or when certain situations arise, you don't let them, you know, uh, let your negative emotions take over, or your positive emotions, because there's also uh, overly negative and overly positive emotions.
Mm-hmm.
For like, for an example, you know how women used to be on Michael Jackson whenever he got up on stage, falling out and shit. Same with Elvis. I'm not trying to just go all on women, but niggas too. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And not just like music. With anything.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Being overly emotional uh is not portraying emotional maturity. You
Yeah.
know, you're being too happy about something that doesn't really need to be that much happiness. Like you shouldn't be falling out because something bad happened to you, or you shouldn't be falling out because something like, obviously, let's say you win the lottery. Obviously, you're gonna be like, "Oh shit!" Like, "Oh fuck, I won the lottery! Oh my god!" It go crazy, but at the same time, like, it's not that serious, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be, get the fuck out the way. No, I just won the fucking lottery. Niggas like, move. Like, no.
You shouldn't go
No.
beating up grandmas just because you won the lottery. I get what
I'm
you're
Right.
sorry. I ain't gonna lie. I'm pushing everybody out
I
the way.
saying. Now,
I'm running back. I'm turning into Eddie
Bruh,
George. Right,
I
with
ain't saying. I ain't
right
saying
through the
bruh,
that.
you
hole.
gonna
I'm
be the
getting
first
everybody.
one they steal from.
Get
Exactly.
out
You
my
feel me? You saw
way.
what was it? Lottery ticket?
They ain't gonna know I
Yeah.
won. I'm gonna just get out my way.
Move it. And just knock her, football tackle her down.
Get out the way. I need you to move.
That's
I don't
funny,
care
Move.
man.
about your ticket.
Get out
Move.
the way. Get out the way. Get out the way. Okay.
Man, but
Both.
yeah, that's what I would say though. Being able to correctly assess your correctly assess the situation you're in and portray your emotions effectively according to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I know I just probably just word through a word jumble all that, but that's basically what it is,
Mm-hmm.
at least to
So
me.
both you and Z saying both agree upon having control over your emotions according to the environment that you are in. Kay, do you disagree or do you agree with them?
I agree for the most part
What part do
What's
you
what's the some
disagree
part?
with?
because like it's still into like in a sense you can't have emotional maturity without having emotional intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So like they coincide, but you need one to have another one.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't know basic math. Well, you can't know algebra if you didn't do basic math. So yeah,
Facts.
it's still math, but you need one to know the other.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? I got a question.
What's up?
So since we talking about emotional maturity, now the world itself likes to bring up emotional maturity and intelligence and all that, right? So I'm guessing that's why we brought up that's why we brought up this conversation. My question to you guys is: do you think, even though that we bring it up as a society, do you think this society now is emotionally mature?
Of course not.
Hell no. I mean, if we were more emotionally mature, first off, we wouldn't have uh, incels. We wouldn't have fuck boys and thoughts. We wouldn't have niggas shooting at people in the face just because you looked at them wrong. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have a lot of things, but I wouldn't say that. Um, I wouldn't say that everything in today's society is a bad thing though. People not having. I don't know. I don't know. It's different. It's
Here's why I'm gonna play devil's advocate with you, right? Because you brought up the shootings and everything like that. That's the thing that's
and
been
that's why I'm
happening
saying
for
like
centuries. Like you feel me? Like that's been happening since the beginning of the time, where everything's always been like that. So what makes it? Since you said that this society now is not emotionally mature compared to the other societies, what makes this one different compared to the other ones?
I guess the
uh,
motive.
You said the motive.
I don't think it's
Yeah,
any different.
most of them are just doing it for attention and clout and to be famous based off of something. However, you can say that that started once reality TV started. When once Dr. Phil got on stage. I mean, if you
Dr.
want to
Phil?
say something, but it's kind of different for this society because back then you had kind of a foundation of emotional intelligence. You had a foundation of common sense. Now, our younger generation are just growing up with technology, and this is kind of all they see. They see people doing crazy things, outlandish things all the time, and they believe that's what is normal, is the regular day occurrence.
you know what I think.
Hold on, before I get to you, Saul. Hold on, because Kayla had said something earlier where she
Uh,
said it. She said it. She don't think it's different. So why do you think it's not different, Kayla?
Because human people will always be people, whether it is like the 17th century or the 21st. Like, so people don't change regardless of like anything. Like, yeah, they can evolve, but certain traits are just human traits. So like whether it was then and they were like, I don't know, like casting witches or like stoning people, or now they're shooting people. It's the same thing. Like people are gonna
But
be people.
do you think that the what Boca was saying earlier with the internet and everything like that being a part of it, do you think that kind of like enhanced
No, I think it
emotional?
just showed us it more. I don't think that it wasn't happening as much. I think we just got access to see it more, so we feel like it's happening more.
Hmm, I can agree with that.
I think it's always.
Is it seeing it more or is it creating more?
I think it's both. Like yeah, granted it's happening, but like if we didn't see it, we wouldn't know that it was happening because how would we know?
True. I can see that. Okay. Now, Saul, my fault, Birdie. What was you gonna say?
I was gonna say to piggyback off of what Mocha said, but now I'm going to ch- change my answer just a little bit. I want to say that we're today's society is not emotionally mature, but at the same time, we're way better than what we used to be back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, back then, I know it's still crazy today, but it ain't like back then. Uh,
Where
we
people
people
didn't.
tolerate. I want to say people. I don't want to say tolerate because that's
Admitting,
I would say suppress if it was me.
yeah.
Oh, I think my dog internet went out. But
testing.
yeah,
We
you're back. You're back.
I want to say people used to look at us and be disgusted by just looking at us or and would act on their disgust. Nowadays, it's you know people are more reserved,
mm,
but at the same time, I want to say piggybacking off of what Mocha said, the way the kids are being raised these days, our generation and below are raising up kids that don't give a care about anything. Back then, like you said, we had a foundation on emotional maturity. And I want to say like the woman was the person who took care of the children. Da 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 da. The man was the provider, and he's supposed to keep his emotions in check and not show emotion. Da 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 da. But in today's society, we're more like I said, better. They're more open to a man being emotional, but at the same time, now that we're open and being more emotional, men are being more emotional. They're being too emotional now, where it comes in the shooting people in the face and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I
It is
mean, if
more I
I,
want to say, but I don't know how to I don't know how to say it without it sounding weird.
I mean, if I had to think it out, like in thinking and listening to everybody, like in my opinion, I think we're worse, to be honest with you, than ever. The reason why I say that is because everything that y'all said, it kind of makes it to me why it's worse. Because prime example of the internet, right? We got everyone who can see everything, but then I think everyone has an intelligence of emotion, as in we all understand it, but we don't necessarily grasp it in the middle of doing it. As in, we'll say, okay, like prime example, where Saul brought up about men being in their emotions. You hear it a lot of times where I've said this to you guys a couple times where like we hear it where you tell us it's okay, but yet when we get into that moment of telling emotion, it's not heard. Like prime example, I just had a conversation with somebody a couple of days ago where we got into a discussion, a disagreement, and the whole disagreement of us talking, she just looked at on the phone, just said, you know what, I don't even care what you're talking about no more. Just don't say nothing. Like whatever you say, I'm not listening. So you can say whatever you want, but I'm not listening to what you're talking about. I'm like, we're having a whole discussion right now. Like this is supposed to be a conversation between me and you to where we can be on the same page. But now all of a sudden, because I'm trying to tell you how I feel about something, I have to now. And that's another issue that as men that we have a problem with when it comes to talking about emotional and having emotional maturity when it comes to men and women type of dialogue, where if we say something about something that makes us how it makes us feel, if it makes you feel some type of way, we now have to stop telling you how we feel to console your feelings.
Exactly, bro. I hate
so
that. So
now all of a sudden, every time I'm trying to tell you how I feel, I have to now watch how I say it, or I have to say it in a certain tone of where you don't get upset, but yet then you get upset because I didn't tell you the truth of how I really felt. But yet when I tell you how I really feel, now all of a sudden it's well, you just hurt my feelings. So now I was like, okay, I have to stop what I'm doing to control you, to console your feelings. But it's like, all right, what I just said wasn't heard.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, all right, now we talk about, okay, these conversations of having emotion. And then even when it comes to dudes, like Saul said again, a lot of dudes are very feminine now because they learn. We got into a society where we told everybody that emotional maturity or intelligence came from just talking and communicating like women. So everybody's trying to do the whole, I feel some type of way, I'm gonna say how I feel, this, that, the third. I don't give a crap. I'm finna do like not everyone does it, but it's a certain tone in the culture now where everybody's like really just like how we both all just said. Everyone's kind of in a fluffy mood. Like everybody's like, you know what, fluff it. I'm gonna say whatever I feel. I'm gonna do whatever I feel, and whoever has a problem, oh well. And you just like, well, you didn't care about how it hurt this person, that person, or that person. So now all of a sudden we in this whole like tit for tat mode where now all of a sudden if you're doing this, well, I'm gonna do this. Well, if you're doing that, I'm gonna do this. Like no one's having that conversation of saying, okay, what are we doing? Why are we doing the same things that we keep repeating that's hurting ourselves? Especially in the Black community where we do a lot of things that we've been repeating over and over again that we hurt ourselves. That if we don't have a conversations, every time we had a conversations, it'd be the same dialogue. No one sits down and sit there and be like, okay, what are we really talking about? And that's why I say for me, for our society now, it's like no one can have discussions no more. Like you see it now, everybody want to have podcasts where they want to talk about stuff, but a lot of times you hear podcasts, they're having like full-fledged yelling arguments on these podcasts. Like they're like really arguing. They're not discussing, they're arguing.
Yeah.
And they're not even listening. You just hear each other just going back and forth. They're not even listening to each other's point. So now, like versus us, we had that conversation because we had that maturity of understanding to take yourself out of it and taking your own feelings out of it and putting the reality in the situation. Where I think also emotional maturity comes with knowing reality and understanding that I gotta be real in the situation versus being in my feelings. Because a lot of times that's what people tell us now, where it's like I'd rather be in my feelings about it and be like, well, I feel some type of way about it versus okay, I just know it is what it is. So for me, I feel like that's just it kind of got a little worse, and I feel like down the line it's gonna get even more worse because everybody the habit is just becoming even bigger. Like hopefully, especially if we can have that dynamic of having like strong people around, children and stuff that can teach them like, hey, this ain't certain things you don't do. Like, a young boy having a father figure or young mother or a young daughter having a strong mother figure and both switch it back around to where they both can learn. The child the son learn how to be respectful and learn from a woman, just like a woman learns how to be around a man. And you feel what I'm saying? Like we forgot that everybody's was like do it for ourselves. So like in my opinion, it's just like it got worse.
I was having this similar conversation with somebody very, very recently. Like she was saying that I don't think I'll be in a relationship because people don't know how to act. I'm saying it's not that people don't know how to act. It's I mean, people don't know how to act, yeah. But it's also not just that. It's a lot of people are, and the majority of society today is, and I don't understand where this came from, but it's everybody is either or both of these. Everybody's selfish and entitled. Everybody
I
wants.
call it, you know what I call it? I call it narcissistic. Everybody narcissistic as heck. That's that main character syndrome. I told y'all.
Everybody wants things done the way they want. Everybody, I want this for me. I want it's all me.
My man gotta be this idea. My girl gotta be this idea. I want this type of family. I want to be able to live this type of lifestyle. And then I manifest it. I want it. It's my life. I'm gonna make it happen. You just like.
And then, but when it comes to their significant other or the other person, it's
they don't even fit in the mold that they talking about.
You feel me?
The person
or not even just
don't even be that. Go ahead, bro.
Not even just that. It's like, bro, I'm trying to or what I can provide is, I mean, okay, these are the things that I can provide for you, and these are the things that you should be able to provide for me. That's a mutual. I mean, that's an understanding. But if it's all right, I need you to do all these things for me, and that's it. What do you bring to the table? You know what I'm saying? Like, if everybody was more, and I was saying this to myself earlier, if everybody was more selfless, the world would be a lot more better or easier. You know what I'm saying? This is some serious deep stuff.
You know what it is, Kareem. We was looking for you earlier, bro. We needed you to give us the recap of what happened last week, but it's all right. We found it. We good. Appreciate you.
I think that a lot of people are fixated on the ideology of a lot of things. And I think for that own reason, nobody's ever really able to grow because so we had talked it was a little while ago, and I think you were like, yeah, Kayla, see, I need one of those, but not understanding like what one of me would like. Yeah, it's fun and dandy. It's fun and dandy when it's that Kayla, but when it's the opposite, can you handle that? Because it's not always that Kayla. Sometimes I act a fool. Sometimes my mouth is slick. Like it's other things that come with it, and I think that we enjoy certain parts, and we love the parts that we love without forgetting with forgetting that like you got to be able to take the good with the bad because that's how we are made. Like everything can be cute, but it's not gonna be cute forever. And I think a lot of people don't really understand that all the time, or stuff happens, and stuff could happen for a decent amount of time. And I'm not saying that you got to be okay with it, but you kind of got to be understanding. And I think a lot of people don't understand that either.
They want things. It's like I said, it's only things that what you can do for me, not what we can
Well,
do for
she
each
said it
other.
on the dot. It's the ideology. Everybody
Yeah.
has their own ideology of what they want it to be. So like everybody,
And I think nobody's able to like go in and like, well, I won't say nobody, but I think a lot of people aren't able to go in and like edit it to fit that person. Like, what you want isn't universal. So you're gonna have to go in and be like, okay, if he's 8 out of the 15 things or 8 out of the 10 things, if that's what you choose to deal with, understand that you understood that it was a shortage, whether it was by 7 or by 2, and work with it, because your cup not full either. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that if we understood that, like, I won't use the word broken, but that like my cup isn't full either, we stop expecting so much. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Thank you,
I really think you know what it
bro.
is. You know what it is, in my opinion. I think people forget that their cup ain't as big as they think it is.
I think
That's what
people
it
just
be.
look for things that they like. I think
Because
a lot of people aren't really like fixed or even
I
aware of
wouldn't say
like their
it's not even
brokenness.
that they fit. I think everyone
So
it's the ideology where everyone has that idea of thinking like they're bigger than what they are. You feel me? So everybody feels like they're the top notch, the best thing, the 10, the 100, I'm the greatest thing that ever touched this earth. Like if you
everybody,
listen to anybody, everyone has that sense of
I'm
idea,
finna
like
pull them up.
almost in the back of their mind. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be the greatest thing. And then when it comes to reality, they don't see it like that. So they do what you said earlier, where they'll try to like they'll keep that same idea, and you'll run with that idea until you're about like 30, 40, 50 years old and realize, okay, I'm nowhere close to this idea. So now all of a sudden you try to change it now, but it's like it's too late. You 30, 40, 50
I
years
think that
old.
people just got to do the work, because where did this idea come from? Like, is this
It
idea
came
from a
from the
broken
ego.
place? Is this idea from hope? Like, I think people just got to kind of, I think people don't spend enough time with themselves. So they like going to get other people. And then that's part of the problem. Like, you don't know, you don't deal with you enough. You
I,
probably don't like you enough. Why would I like you when you don't like you?
I think people have an issue with trying to relate to other people's stories so much that it made it a thing. So, like a prime example of in the community of black community, everybody wanted that stereotype. My opinion, the worst stereotype movie that I hated the most, in my opinion, it's a
You
good
talking
movie,
about
but at the
baby
same
boy?
time, the stereotype is worse. What you say?
You talking about baby boy?
Right off the dot, Baby Boy.
The nurse and the drug
The,
dealer.
the
Yeah.
literally the biggest stereotype of the worst type of relationship
That's
of
a broken place. And
toxicity.
so when you see people idolizing things from like a broken place, then it's just like you gotta go and do some work then, because why in your right mind would you want this?
And that's the problem though. They didn't see that part of the movie though. Because you're looking at everyone looked at the toxicity, the what Jody was doing, what Yvette was doing, what
But
this
that's just
person, but
relatable
no
if
one
you're coming
looked at
out of
the
broken places. Like if that's all I've ever seen, that's relatable and that's what I know. And so like of course, why wouldn't I want that? When I didn't, I'm not gonna say I didn't see better, but that's
but you
reality
didn't see
for
the
a lot of
ending. That's what I'm saying. You didn't pay attention to the ending of how they fixed it and got to the point of
people.
fixing. But everyone got stuck at the drama part because that was the part that made everybody so. You remember the drama part, but most people don't remember the end where they was at the park and he laying on her and she pregnant and they happy as heck, and he got a job and they making money and they living a good little life. You don't remember that part because you know why? Because it wasn't the part that gave you the drama. Everyone got stuck with drama. Like everybody wanted that part of being of society because that made you lit, that made you turn, that made you a thing because everyone had something to speak about. Versus back in, that's why I say this generation now is different from that then because we want something to speak about now versus back then people wanted to keep it a secret. If I was doing something that I ain't want nobody to know about or doing something that I know it wasn't nobody business to do, I wasn't finna tell nobody. Versus now, we just put it out there in the world to where it's like, okay, I'm finna put it out there. If anybody got a problem, that's your problem. And it's like, well, now you made it a problem for everybody. You feel what I'm saying? Like you made it a situation where now all of a sudden the people around you have a problem. And that's where I feel like the maturity comes in, where you understand I have a bigger part to play. Like, yeah, I might think about myself, but I have so much reach around me that I don't even understand how this might affect the person right next to me. or this person who I didn't even know, who I don't even know them, but because I just did this made them look at me differently. You feel me? Like this person could have gave me a good opportunity, but because I didn't control my maturity, I didn't pay attention to myself and learn, like you said, learn myself. I didn't even get myself in the right position. So now when it don't come and the next person who's worse than you, and that's where you see a lot of times when the people who be worse than you at the same, y'all do the same position, but you're better than them, but they get the better job, and you're like, how did they get it? It's because they understood how to control themselves in them areas. How to talk to the people in the right moments. And you hear it all the time. You got to talk like a white person to this, that, and the third. You know how black people get where sometimes like you can't talk like this. You ain't, this, that, and the third. You need to get why you speak so proper. And it's like you don't understand that I can control my speech in a different tone in different places to where you can be. I can go talk to the blue collar person and the white collar man and get my business going. I can come back to this area and talk like this. But
there's a movie for that. Have y'all seen Sorry to Bother You?
Yep.
Yeah, that's basically exactly what you're talking about. Where they had all those black people, or the two black people in the what was it, the marketing agency? They was doing the phone call things, and every time the old dude got on the phone, he would speak. He would sound just like a white dude,
Yep.
like he was actual white dude talking. But as soon as he hung up the phone, he's back to his normal voice.
But I definitely agree with Caleb with it's knowing yourself. Like you gotta know yourself. Like taking the time to know yourself and realizing like your faults. Like, and that's another issue that I feel like we don't. That's why I say we got worse with emotional maturity, because look how people are changing their bodies and changing their way how they look, or changing the things that they're doing because of how they feel.
They're
Versus,
not
okay, this is just who I am. Like, hey, I don't have this type of
Yeah.
body part.
Are
Everybody
you
don't have
talking
to
about
do it.
like surgeries and stuff?
One more
Not
time?
just surgeries, everything. Even I'm not talking about like BBLs, just BBLs, or anything like that. There's people like there's a man who made himself a cat as a face, like real deal.
There's a dude who actually looks like a
I
Ken
think that's
doll.
a
He made himself look like a
mental
Ken doll.
issue at that
There's
point.
a Barbie.
But
there's
that's
Jackson,
that's what I'm saying though. That emotional thing is it's a mental thing, because how you're feeling is coming from how you thinking. I feel this way because my brain is telling me I feel this way. So now that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people do things because of how they feel or how their brain is telling. Okay, I don't like this.
It's like a lot of trauma responses, and I think that if you don't deal with trauma like at hand or in like real time, that like it just like leaks out, and that's why we see like a lot of like repetitive cycles, because like you can know that it's wrong, but if that's all you know, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Learn out of it.
Yeah, but who gonna teach you that?
Figure it out, like everybody else. Like,
No.
but you have to.
Like
That's the
the
maturity,
little
though.
man, like the little cat man. Like I think that I'm almost certain, like I said, that's not normal. So something had to happen. It triggered a response, and he's a cat.
But now down the line, if you was to see him down the line, he hates the fact that he did it. Prime example, the girl on Instagram right now
who fucking put tattooed her. Yes, bro. Yes, I was just about to say that.
She did all that, and she was all happy about. Her daughter told her, "Mama, you gonna go blind if you do that." I don't care. This is what I want to do. Watch how I'm gonna do it. Now look, she's going completely blind. She can't help none of. She got 5 kids. She can't be no help to them. She made an emotional decision. So now all of a sudden, it's like, all right, you did something that you wanted to do. Granted, you did it, but now look at the consequences behind it. And that's why I feel like, again, where people don't understand, maturity comes understanding that, okay, there's a lot of things that happens because of how you feel, but at the same time, you have other people who have feelings around you too, who have feelings about you. So you have to put that into consideration, where you have to, I have to consider shit. That's where I feel like a lot of maturity comes into it, where I can, once you can sit here and say, okay, let me consider about this situation. You don't even have to do it. If you consider it, bro, you got the maturity right there, because you took the time to think about it. But a lot of times in our society, we don't think about it. We just run with it. We just, whatever we're going to do, bet. That's how I feel today, bet.
So instead of being impulsive and going off of your emotions, you should stop and think, how is this going to affect everyone around me? How is this going to affect me in the long-term future? Like Love said, live in the present, but think of your future.
Yeah. Yeah, facts. Living your presence, but thinking of the future. Facts.
Yeah, I think we can get better. I think that like in our older times, it was like real suppressed and like underly done, if that's even proper wording. And now I feel like right now it's overly done. Like emotion is just like so. I think that I don't know whether it's in the near future or
Balance.
later that it'll balance itself out because I think to go from like everybody suppressing to like learning about it immediately heightens the experience that everybody's gonna have emotionally because we never seen people act like this before, in a certain timeline because whether you people just didn't know. And then now you have people who know, but they have the intelligence, but they don't really know how to use it, so they're not mature enough in it. Um, and I think
That's where
that's
I feel like we at right now.
and I wouldn't call it feminine. I just would call it immaturity. Like you just don't know how to respond properly. So that makes you emotionally immature. I wouldn't call it feminine because like women do it too and it's still not.
I wouldn't say feminine. I say when we say feminine, we mean as in like men learned it from, as in the
Women.
single mom household. So you feel me? So prime example, I had my mom around for a long period of time. I was living with just her. A lot of things that I learned emotionally, like how to do things, like I got it from my mama. So it took me a lot of time to like learn how to do things like a man. You feel me? And I had to have other men around me to teach me how to do things how men do it. Because if you do that as a man, remember I told y'all an emotional man is aggressive.
Yes.
So the last thing you want him to do is to be emotional and he can't control it to the point where he's just punching the crap out of someone. That's the people. Those are the type of movies that you see. The ones that be the man just be beating the crap out of them, Ike Turners and all that. That's an emotional man. If you ever watch that movie, What's Love Got to Do with It, and you see all the times where anybody say anything to Ike that it triggered his emotions, he immediately went to what? Being aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, that's what we mean by that. Where it's like, if you go into Ike's stories and stuff like, or certain people's stories like that, some people you hear, especially in this generation now, they come from that house, that type of household where my mom was like this. She used to snap at me about this certain thing. So that's what we mean. I'm not saying feminine because there's masculine emotional too, where they try to. I feel like for masculine, those are people who try to like always buck up on you. You feel like I'm bigger than you. Like, oh yeah, I'm a man, so I'm gonna do this and the third. Like that. Those are, in my opinion, emotional men. But then I have what I call the emotional gangster. That's what I mean when instead of feminine, I say emotional gangsters. Those are the ones who be trying to cuss you out every 10 seconds. You say anything they feel, any type of way, they go cuss you out. NBA Youngboy, in my opinion, is an emotional gangster. That's my opinion. People will try to fight me for that. Don't get quiet on me, y'all. I know I'm talking a lot.
I know. Let's not get quiet. So, we all universally agree that emotional maturity is you controlling your emotions. And those who do not have emotional maturity, well, in today's society, we don't have emotional maturity. So much so that it has become worse over the years. So, my question is for you guys: do you believe that you have emotional maturity? And how did you get there? How did you gain emotional maturity?
I'd say it's a process. I don't think any I'll speak for myself. I don't think any human will ever like be emotionally fully matured.
Mm.
Um because we're all still humans. So you can like effectively like progress. So, 1 year you might be at like one step, like the first step. Over time you keep going, but it's life. Like we're all just trying to grow. So I don't think we'll all like reach that full potential because there's different phases of life. Um I could say that I've progressed, but I still know I got work to do. But I'm
Yeah.
not like the same as when I was like 21.
Mm.
Okay, makes sense.
Mm.
I say like for me, I would say the same thing like how Kay said, where I'm growing, I'm trying to be better, and I'm a human, so like, I'm always gonna have moments where it do pop. I do think, like I said, for me personally, as being in my belief, men being aggressive if they're emotional, I have to hold my emotions in a lot more on a lot of things, or at least have a better way of articulating it, in my opinion, because like that'd be another issue that I feel like for men, we have an issue of articulating it. So it's like, and then not just articulating it, but having a space to articulate it sometimes. So for me, it's just like I'm improving. I'm also improving, learning how to gain my emotional space. You feel me? To where I can say, okay, I'm gonna speak. If I want to speak my mind, I'm gonna speak my mind in the space that I feel is the right time for me, in the right moment for me, to where I can speak my mind and everything like that. Because I think another issue that I feel that comes with emotional maturity is when you can learn how to speak your mind in the right position. So I'm getting better with that, because sometimes I do have moments where I'm just mad and I'm finna say whatever I feel, but then I understand that I can't do that in certain spots. So I definitely try to improve in that more in my, way of life.
Mm-hmm. Good job, Z. Good job, Kayla. So, if you are with us still, would you like to share with the class?
Um. Okay. So I want to say that I do have uh emotional maturity, but as a person, we're always continuing to grow. So there's always what areas of improvement. Obviously, things do tend to piss me off a lot more than other things, and like I have pet peeves. Everybody has pet peeves, and when those pet peeves are met, I just gotta learn how to manage my emotions whenever those things happen. But at the same time, I'm still human. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody gets upset or everybody fucks up, and then people misconstrued. Is that how you say it? Misconstrued.
Yes,
Um,
correctly.
People misconstrued other people's um, actions. So you could be acting in a way that you don't mean to be offensive or anything along those lines, but the other person can take it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all in um, one perception. Make sure that what they're seeing is what you're seeing, and what you're seeing is what they're seeing,
Mm-hmm.
and just take it slow. I'm more like Z. I'm more of like a nonchalant person, so a lot of things don't really piss me off for real. At least not anymore. I've came a long way with my emotional maturity. That
I have levels. That's what I call it. I have levels to my, like, I might be okay, so I might be annoyed, then there's
yeah,
aggravated, then there's pissed off. Okay, like I have levels. So if I'm annoyed,
Like,
I can talk to
okay,
you. We
layers.
Gucci, like I ain't too crazy. Like I heard you, but I'm not like okay, whatever. Like I'm just like all right, whatever. Like if I'm aggravated, okay, you starting to get on my nerves, and I'm starting to like really look at you like, bruh, leave me alone. And then if I'm pissed off, don't talk to me. Like just walk away. Like I'm let you, and I'm gonna let you know, like okay, hey fam, like I'm aggravated, like or I'm annoyed, like all right, you pissing me off, like leave me alone, like that. That's why I say like to articulate it. You feel what I'm saying?
that nigga Z a bear.
How am I bear? Like,
Cause you know the saying, "Don't poke the bear."
hey,
You know what I'm
bro, it's the
saying?
truth. I swear to God. I swear to God. Yeah, you right. Don't poke the bear, bro. I be telling people that too. Like, bro, please do piss me off. Because if you piss me off, I'm telling you, it's a wrap.
Don't
Like,
poke the bear.
it's a
Don't poke
wrap.
the bear.
I'm
It's not
mad.
a
I'm
teddy
mad.
bear. It's a grizzly bear. If you
I
I
want
can
was
to
be
make
a
it
teddy
worse, it's
bear.
going to be a polar bear.
I can be a teddy bear, bro. Just don't play with me.
I will
Don't
say
play
this
polar
though,
bear food.
like I myself personally am not a very confrontational person by nature. You know what I'm saying? So like, well, I don't like I don't like getting into fights, so I don't like arguing. So I'm not gonna argue with niggas unless I feel as though like my pet peeves. One of my pet peeves is you said I did something that I didn't do, or you said I didn't do something that I did. I hate that shit, and obviously I need to work on that. But at the same time, you know, I like Z said, it's levels. But I've never been super pissed off to where Well, I've never let my emotions get so out of control that I black out. You know what I'm saying? That's never happened, or at
I did
least
when I was younger.
not to an extent where like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You know, I'm just going. I'm just going
I feel
because
like that's cap. When I hear people say that, like I blacked out, I don't know, that's cap. You knew what you was doing, bro. You just don't want to take the responsibility of what you did and accountability of what you just did. Like you capping.
I don't
Yeah.
know, bro. I think like
Unless you got a
when you
psychiatrist,
get that mad, you just don't give a fuck no
man,
more.
listen. Unless you got a psychiatrist or a doctor saying this person cannot control their emotions when they mad and black out. I'm not hearing that, bro. You are a grown adult. You know what you're doing, bro. You just don't want to take the accountability. You know what you're doing.
Well, I'm glad you all answered my first question. Can you answer my second question on how you achieve your emotional maturity?
How I achieve my emotional maturity? Well, I'm gonna say start off like this. Like I said before, I've came a long way uh to keep my emotional or to keep my emotions in check. My emotional maturity has evolved over time. So back then, um, I wasn't. I had anger issues. I still technically kind of got them today, but it's a whole lot better than what it used to be. Like, so what I do and like what most or some people do that's along the same boat as me is we write. You know what I'm saying? I write my feelings or poetry. You know what I'm saying? Or making music. That's yeah, and that's one of the ways I keep my emotions in check. You know, I write music or I write poetry or you know, and people think this is crazy, and I think you crazy if you don't do this. But I talk to myself. You know, I try to
My best
get a
friend.
handle of my own. Right. I try to get a handle of my
So
own.
you talk to yourself. We don't judge here.
I'm
You
my
feel
best
me? I I talk to myself all the time, making sure that I'm straight, or try to process what I'm feeling. Like, all right, calm down. This ain't got nothing to do with you, or this, you know, just be okay, cause you be straight. As long as this does happen, we should be okay. And then next thing you know, I'm okay.
Hmm.
Like, uh, perfect song and perfect episode of Steven Universe. It's called Here Comes a Thought, and that's a show based on or built around anxiety and making sure or keeping your emotions in check. So uh the song is called Here Comes a Thought. I highly recommend people
Yes.
listen to it if you feeling anxiety or if you know you feeling some type of way. Listen to that song. It'll definitely help you out. And the words in the song is take a moment, remind yourself to take a moment and find yourself. Take a
Mm.
moment and ask yourself, is if this is how we fall apart, but it's not. It's not. This is not how we fall apart, and that's how the song goes. You're not gonna fall apart. You know, you won't. Your seams won't come undone. You're okay. Just stay calm and remember who you are. That's me.
Okay.
Understand.
Well,
Z, it's
we're
your
getting
turn.
to that point. Getting to that point of final thoughts. So you know, I'm gonna let y'all go around the table or round in the boxes and give us y'all final thoughts on today's, topic of the day, which was emotional maturity. What did you
Emotional
learn? What did you
maturity,
grasp? What
not
did you grasp?
emotional damage.
What did you agree? What you don't agree with? Emotional damage. Starting with you, Mocha.
Huh? So today I learned a lot about emotional maturity. It is controlling your emotions according to your environment. And in today's society, we have declined our emotional maturity and emotional intelligence. Well, our
Do me a
emotional
favor. Do
maturity
me a
for the
favor.
most part.
Do me a favor. Change the word controlling and put assessing.
Assessing.
Yeah.
Assessing. I forgot what I was saying.
Sorry.
But the best way you assess your emotions is by stopping to think of why you're having this emotion, and is this going to how this will affect you, or whether you're going to allow it to affect you by the certain behavior you're about to do, basically. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. What about you, Caleb?
I didn't really. I'm not gonna say I didn't learn nothing, but I do a little work in this area, so so I kind of knew. But what I will add to it is understanding risk management is what kind of keeps me aligned. Like some stuff I am willing to lose, and if I'm willing to lose it, I don't care. I'll act that as. If I know that like I don't want to lose XYZ, I'm gonna figure my shit out because risk management. Like if it's trash, cool. Leftovers, cool. Something that I'm working towards, I put some time into. I'm gonna figure out how to get past this without clowning because can't really afford to lose it. But
For that. Saw.
Final thoughts. Final thoughts.
Yes, final thoughts.
Yes, indeed. Final thoughts.
Thoughts of the final. The thoughts of the final.
Last of the thoughts.
Anything of your last thinking? Yes.
But my final thoughts or final remarks is everybody's human, yo. So and nobody's perfect. So if you you know, I don't want to word it. Just think about where you are, think about who you are, think about what you do, and think about what your actions that your actions have consequences. Think about what consequences you have because of those actions. And those are my final thoughts. If you want to better your emotional maturity, start writing. That's all I would say. I mean, it helped me, so it can help somebody else. And those are my final thoughts.
Yeah. Start taking some time to breathe before you react.
Well,
try to give what you ask for. Like we all be needing grace. So if you know you're gonna need grace, we all have bad days. So I'm not saying you get a pass if you clown today, but I mean you do. I might need a pass because I might clown in like 2 weeks because I'm not having a good day. So just be gracious.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I guess this has been another episode of DietyeRadio.
Yeah.
So come on, man. What you doing?
All right, everybody. Have a blessed night. Eat some dinner. Drink some drinks. Let's get it popping for Friday.
She said
Bye.
Friday. What? It's Wednesday.
Thursday tomorrow, and I was excited for Friday because then it means I don't gotta go to school.
Y'all got one more day to Friday, and then y'all get to pop off. Pop.
For 2 days. Yes. 2 days. 2 day pop off. Yes.
Pop.
All right, man. Well, this has been Dot man. Give them y'all ats and everything real quick so they can follow y'all and everything. Y'all want followers. I'm pretty sure y'all want followers, right?
My shit is down.
Hey, my dog Rich. I see you, Afro. Come on, Rich next to you. Yeah, Rich. I see. Is that not Rich?
That's a road. This right
here.
That
look like Rich Afro for a second. I'm not
gonna. I was confused because I'm like,
I thought that was Rich for a second. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, is that Rich Afro? You know why? Because it was like one of the little pieces like sticking out just randomly like that. I was like, yo, that's Rich.
I'm like, unless
I
like
do, my bad,
Magic
yo.
is not on here, I don't see them.
I'm
One more
dead.
time.
But yeah,
What y'all say?
go ahead and give y'all ads and everything so they can follow y'all and everything. I'm sorry.
They're all at the bottom of the screen.
Girl, say your ad.
No.
Appreciate it if you just went to the bottom of the screen.
Say your ad.
It's in the description below. You can follow
All right.
Instagram.
Where's that now? Where's that now?
Follow us.
Well, when they watch this,
DietyeRadio
it'll be at the
Instagram,
bottom of the
YouTube,
screen.
Twitter,
Just in case they missed
freaking
it.
TikTok, freaking. I said Twitter, right?
Twitter. We have a
Do
Twitter?
we have a Facebook?
Nah,
I don't think we have a Facebook yet.
need to. So we can make some money.
Money, honey.
But yeah, man, follow us. You know how it goes. Y'all suck.
Yeah,
Y'all
follow
You can
us
follow
on
us
Instagram,
all on
YouTube,
Instagram. Well, yeah, like Kay said, all of our Instagrams at the bottom of the screen.
TikTok,
You can follow. One more time. What did you-
TikTok, YouTube,
Oh.
stream, Twitch.
Yeah, make sure you follow us on Twitch and YouTube at DietyeRadio. Follow us on Instagram at DietyeRadio.
See,
I
now
am
you got
so-
to ask questions, Mocha. We got a Twitter.
Right, yeah.
Yes, we got a
Hi,
Twitter.
people.
We got a Twitter. We got Twitter.
We have.
Go find out Twitter.
Where Twitter at?
We'll get a Twitter.
We got a
If we don't
Twitter.
have one, we'll get one.
We got a Twitter somewhere up in there. We got a
And
Twitter.
who? When
We
you
got
gonna?
Discord. We got a Discord.
Oh,
We got all of.
when we had a Discord. What the heck?
Yeah, we
When
did
we get a Discord. We got a Discord.
Yeah, I
You just
remember
adding
this
stuff
'cause
to
I
the list.
slaved
Like,
over it.
when did we do that? Why are you adding?
2 years ago. I remember. I might have 2 brain cells, but these 2 brain cells remember going through Discord
Why are
and
you
making
the only
up a
person
channel.
who? Why are you the only person who know we have a Discord? Like, what are you talking
Because
about?
I'm the one who did the Discord.
And why didn't we say nothing about a Discord before?
Because y'all all say I'm crazy and we don't have a Discord. Why else? We're having this situation right now. This is why we don't say we have Discord. I'm the only one who remembers slaving over Discord.
You know what? I'm done. Y'all have a good one. All right, y'all. Peace out, man. Y'all dance out, y'all. Y'all just do something. Give me. Oh, my dog said he sent us a live, to live link to the gaming crew with my friends. They plan to try and look into y'all soon. Appreciate you, man.
We'll
All
do
right,
it to Dougie for $5.
Make sure y'all follow us. Make sure y'all add us on Cash App. We got a cat. We got a cat. Send us the donations on Cash App.
We are leaving.
For 20.
We're leaving. We're going
Oh,
home.
we do. We'll see
Kayla,
y'all
get your
next
people.
week.
We leave. Get your people, Kayla.
I'm about to turn my camera off because.
But
Yo,
anyway,
Korean, you the GOAT, bro.
All right.